Hello, I'm Steve Crawford, a consultant with McGhee Productivity Solutions. Glad to be here today providing you with another video. We are a consulting firm that specializes in the empowerment of individuals, teams, and organizations in improving performance and work-life balance. Today's video is about the weekly review. Please enjoy. In my opinion, the weekly review is the best gift you can give yourself as far as productivity. It's a great opportunity for you to take time at the end of every week and reflect on the previous week. Looking at those celebrations, those things that you really accomplished to be proud of. It's important that we pat ourselves on the back from time to time, especially when we've accomplished things that we've set out to do. The other thing in looking back at the previous week is find those things that did not work. What were the things that we did not accomplish that we set out to do? And what were the reasons? Learning from those reasons is going to help us as we move forward in the next part of the weekly review, which is setting our baseline calendar for the following week. In setting the baseline calendar for the following week, what we're doing is setting ourselves up for success and a proactive approach to our week when we come in on a Monday. Monday, when you come into the office and you open up your Outlook and your calendar comes up, your entire week is all set. You've strategized for the meetings that you're going to be in, for the times of the day you're going to do certain types of work based on your flow and based on the tasks that you've created for yourself. So you're being very strategic and proactive. But having that knowledge about what we learned from the previous week on what didn't work for us is going to help us in setting those times. So one example I'd like to share with you is, if you're looking back at your last week and you had a bunch of projects that you were looking to work on and getting a certain amount of progress on or even complete, and on Friday you're doing your weekly review and you realize you didn't accomplish one of those things. What you want to do is go back and really look and see what was the reason. And you might find that you had an impromptu meeting that was urgent that got put on your calendar that you weren't planning. That happens from time to time. Different organizations and different cultures, that happens more often than not. So you might say to me, well, Steve, what can you do about that? You don't know when those 911 type items are going to come up. Well, that's true. You don't necessarily know when they're going to come up, but that doesn't mean that you have to be hostage to that and it has to ruin your plans for when you're going to work on your things that are most important. So what we'll do is, since we've learned that that happens from time to time, every time we do a weekly review, we're going to see kind of a trend of that. And if you realize that 2 hours a week of your time is spent on these urgent, unexpected meetings, you're going to start scheduling them on your calendar. And you might say, well, Steve, how do I do that? I don't know when that's going to happen. Well, you don't know when it's going to happen. But what you do when you're setting your baseline calendar for the next week is you simply block some time, an hour on Tuesday, an hour on Thursday, whatever it might be, and you call that hold for impromptu meetings. And then what happens is you come in on Monday and you're doing your work and you have some time blocked out for working on a project, you're getting started on that project or whatever that work is that you're doing, and that urgent meeting comes up. All right, well, now what you do is you drag that appointment from Tuesday right onto that time on Monday when it happened, and you take whatever that project time was that you had scheduled on Monday and plug it in that vacant spot that you just moved that appointment from. It's a way for you to be able to account for that time, even though you don't know exactly when it's going to happen. So doing the weekly review, again, you're looking back at the last week, you're celebrating your victories, and you're looking at the places where you have opportunity for improvement. Then you're going to use that information in order to course correct. And when you're looking forward to the next week and you're setting up that baseline calendar, you have that knowledge and you're course correcting on your own. You're being proactive about how you're setting your calendar and how your time is most important. The more you do these weekly reviews, the better you get at them and the more detailed you can get. This is also the time when I recommend you do the mind clearing. That's something we talked about when we were talking about managing interruptions in an earlier video. Doing that mind clearing exercise every week. Other things that you might do during a weekly review is touch base and look at all the projects and goals that you have for the year or for the month, and just give yourselves a temperature check and see, how am I doing towards those? Am I making the progress that I want to make? Again, the weekly review, in my opinion, is the best thing you can do for yourself and being productive. For me, it's a great way to wind down the week, get a good reflection on how everything went, and then set myself up for success when I come in next week and everything's all teed up and ready to go for me. So I hope you enjoyed this video and these tips on a weekly review. For more information on a weekly review, go ahead and check out our website, McGheepro.com, or as always, you can reach out to me anytime at steven.crawford@McGheepro.com. Stay productive, and I hope to see you on the next video.